Hello, Leo friends. This is Vistalia Tarot and Astrology, direct from my bedroom to yours, and this is your oracle reading for the month of March. So I'm going to pull an overview card for you from the Thoth Tarot. So your overview card is feeling this one, the Prince of Discs. Not one of the most exciting of our court cards. I'm a little bit biased. I always see him as steadfastly working towards his goals in a pretty kind of practical way. Being a prince in the Golden Dawn system of the Thoth Tarot, he's said to be heir of Earth, Prince of Discs. So there can be something about ideas being brought to form. So perhaps finally being able to do something that you've been planning for a long time, or finally create something that for a long time was just an idea. So yeah, there is a nice sense of getting things done. Um, Finally moving after a period of inactivity, perhaps for obvious pandemic reasons or some other reasons. Finally getting putting down to paper or creating in a concrete way something that was more sort of in the realm of ideas previously. And your message from your spirit guides this month is from the Archetypes deck, and I pulled the Mystic. Interesting. I actually pulled this card for myself recently, and I've actually been thinking about it a lot. And one of my conclusions about one of my recent conclusions about what is a mystic, what is mysticism, what makes a mystic, is that these are individuals who really dance with non-duality, who find the pain and pleasure and pain, who sort of attain a state of not really choosing sides, of not choosing which they prefer, or not pursuing only that which feels good, but sort of taking things as they come and finding the kind of treasure or gold within things that we normally perceive as suffering or hardship or even horror. I kind of think that this is one of the core essences of what mysticism really is. So it's an interesting kind of message from your higher self. Maybe there is some sort of opportunity for you this month to take a little bit of a different perspective on things. For example, if something doesn't work out as planned, or you do experience some sort of hardship or difficulty or suffering of some kind, that you have the opportunity to perceive it differently than perhaps you ever have, and as a result experience it completely differently, and that there's something inherently mystical about doing that. So it's a kind of everyday mysticism, something that we don't need to be, living in a monastery or away from the world in any way to practice. So that's just it's an interesting sort of different kind of message than this kind of practical overview card that we drew for you. So that might be happening on another level for you this month. And finally, a guide card for you from the Amenti Oracle. I pulled I give offerings that are genuine. Interesting. So what is an offering? So this could be some sort of gifts that you give others. It could be what you give at your work, literal gifts to people in your life, or kind of what you're offering up to the world. So offerings that are genuine, don't to not give unless it's kind of coming from the heart. So, for example, if there's a creative pursuit, waiting until it feels right, until it feels genuine before you share whatever it is, or even if you're let's say if it is in a really practical sense at your work, really putting yourself into whatever you're doing, so that's another kind of mystical practice, which is taking something ordinary and doing it in an extraordinary way, by, for example, putting your full attention and care into something that you could normally do without really thinking and just get it done with. So it seems like this month might be quite an inward month, so not a lot of it's not that there's a lot externally shifting or changing, but it seems to be really a month where you're given an opportunity to shift how you perceive what you're doing and how you perceive your inner world, your feelings, sort of everything around you, and how you can kind of dramatically transform your experience of the world and of your life, with these little internal shifts in attitude and how you do things. So I'm finally going to read a random passage for you from a book, a little bit of bibliomancy to finish things off. The proverb warns that you should not bite the hand that feeds you, but maybe you should, if it prevents you from feeding yourself. So said the critic of psychiatry, Thomas Szasz. He was urging us to think about how our dependence on seemingly benevolent providers might paralyze our free will and interfere with our ability to take care of ourselves. Interesting. I would say that connects to the kind of looking at things in an unexpected way, or taking the opposite interpretation of things than you would normally, which seems to be a theme for you. So have a good month, Leos. Bye.